In our next example, we want to find the exact value of the cosine of x plus y, and we're given some hints. We know the sine of x is 7/25, and that x is in between 0 and pi over 2, which means that x is in quadrant 1. And we know the cosine of y is -4/5, and y is in between pi over 2 and pi, which means that y is in quadrant 2. So going back to our cosine sum formula, the cosine of x plus y would be equal to the cosine of x times the cosine of y minus the sine of x times the sine of y. And so we're going to fill in the things that we know. We know that the sine of x is equal to 7/25. And we know that the cosine of y is equal to -4/5. So we need to find the cosine of x and the sine of y. So to do that, let's first of all look at x. We know that for x, whatever it is, that the sine of it is 7/25, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So using the Pythagorean theorem, 25 squared minus 7 squared would give us what our adjacent side squared is, and take the square root of that, and we get 24. So that means that the cosine of x would be equal to 24/25. And then to find our sine of y, let's look at our y triangle. And what we know about y is that the cosine is -4/5. I'm going to ignore the negative for a moment just to find the lengths of the sides of the triangle. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And so using the Pythagorean theorem, the opposite side would turn out to be 3. And so finding the sine of y would be opposite over hypotenuse, which is 3/5. And in the second quadrant, sine is positive, so it's not going to be negative. Cosine is negative in the second quadrant, but sine isn't. So now we're going to multiply together our results. We have 24 times -4, which would give us -96. And 25 times 5 is 125. Minus 7 times 3 is 21. And 25 times 5 is 125. So we have a common denominator, and we can add -96 minus 21, and we'll get -117/125, and that's the exact value of the cosine of x plus y.